some of you all who are in other parts of the country that's listening, can you hear us on YouTube? You can. All right, we want to bring on Miss Agnes Hitchcock, and she wants to share with us. We're going to have her to share with us some of the election and political news or information, I should say, that we requested. You know, we requested her to do this whenever something that she felt we needed to know. And we also have a guest that was instrumental in introducing me to R.J. Watkins, the owner of the station, and instrumental in convincing me that I need to get on the air in Detroit. He, along with Brother Derek Muhammad, they convinced me that I could get on the air in Detroit without all of that 369 that I was hearing from some of these other places that I was buying airtime from. And I decided I was going to stop getting on the air because people tried to censor or tell me what I should and should not say and all of that kind of thing. I said, no, you can't. I'm supposed to pay for it, but you're going to tell me what to say. No, that don't work for me. And so, you know, I'm not on the air to be just seen and heard. I'm on the air to do what Allah told me to do, which was to give you warning and try to save your life. And so if you're not going to sell me airtime and let me speak what Allah gave me to say, I'm not interested in just getting out there to be seen and heard. I'm not trying to make no name for myself. People used to ask me that all the time. What's your name? I said, Son of Man. It's right there in the book. That's my name. It's like when the police officer, real police officer, when you stop him, if he stop you, if you ask, what's your name? He say, Officer. do you? Sometimes people think he being facetious, but no. You remember you talking to an officer of the law. And if you remember that verse, officer, then you'll be all right. Do you understand? Okay. So I want to welcome Miss Hitchcock. And many of you already know the brother named Hodo. We welcome him along with her. Miss Hitchcock, are you all there?
Yes, Son of Man.
All right. Now I told the brother to send me a bio, and when I got it, it was I couldn't get into it because it had too many hoops to jump through. But I know him anyway, and most of you all know him. So so I want to turn the microphone over to first Miss Hitchcock. And then we will go from there. So, Ms. Hitchcock,
thank you.
Is your mic.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And always, as always, thanks to the New Nation of Islam and the followers of Son of Man. Tonight, I'll talk to you just a little bit I'll get an offer to come back before the election, maybe on Friday. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Detroit. We have two candidates on the ballot, Mike Duggan and Anthony Adams. Mike Duggan has been in the background, nibbling around of the city of Detroit for more than 30 years. The first thing about Mike Duggan was when a black officers and the prosecutor tried to get the coroner to say that Malice Green was high on drugs and he was holding drugs in his hand, which was not true. So that was my first knowledge of Mike Duggan. He's been on the fringes in the background, nibbling at the city of every court he's had a hand in it. He was elected in the city of Detroit with a write-in vote on it at the time. He still became the mayor in the city of Detroit. The other man, Anthony Adams, was in the administration. He's an attorney, and he's running for mayor. Those are the two choices that we have. So I'm going to vote for Anthony Adams for mayor of the city of Detroit because I've seen the result it has done in Detroit. And I'm going to ask you to think about it and consider it. I've been talking to some people in the city of Detroit, and as I always say to you before, our people do not believe that they deserve to be. They've been convinced that simply because of we do not as other people. That is not true. So I'm encouraging the people to vote for Anthony Adams in the city of Detroit for mayor. Now, over to the city council. Now, one council member, Gabe Leland, has already been convicted of a crime. We have two more. We have Andrew Spivey, the Reverend Andrew Spivey, who went to a historically black college, who has also been indicted, and he resigned from city council. We have Scott Benson, who is in the district Hodo is running in, and his home has been raided by the FBI. And over the news, I learned that he was living in Harper Woods. I'll repeat that. Harper Woods, and serving on a council in the city of Detroit. I just call that a city council person off the resources and taxes of the people in the city of Detroit and live in Harper Woods. I'm encouraging you to vote for Hodo in that district, of course. We also have Janae Ayers, who is running for city council. She is under indictment. Now, all of those people that have been or indicted, those are all sure Mike Duggan votes. So I'm encouraging you to council at large are Ayers, who is under indictment. No, her home has been raided. She hasn't been indicted yet. Coleman Young, he's running for council at large. Mary Waters is running for council at large. And So those are the large for Detroit City Council, and sure have legal problems. When I say those votes are sure votes for Mike Duggan, even if they get elected, they will still be able to on the council. They may resign after election for some reason, but we've had Gabe Leland, who was indicted, on council because that is the way things operate in the city of Detroit. I didn't vote. So that's the lead up for that. I was out this past Friday at a demonstration, and Hodo was there, and I had heard that he was running for council previously, and I had talked to Dorothy Ware, and she was so proud Hodo was running for council, and so am I, as a matter of fact. So I want to give Hodo the time to tell what he sees for the future for the people in the city of Detroit. Press 5 star, I believe.
Yes. Once you see his hand go up, I'll mute him. Press 5 star, brother, on your phone. Which conference room? If you're in the 712, press star 6.
Okay, I'm good now. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. Well, first of all, Allah salam alaikum, brother man.
May wa alaikum ala salam.
And thank you and Agnes both for inviting me to come on tonight. Now, a lot of the listeners and viewers may know me for the 20 years I was there with the Hodo Show and the other view. But that I've been doing over the last 30 or so years. I used to have a thing that I would say, people have asked city council for about 16, 17 years now. Ask me that, I would tell them I'm not even running for the butt. But as things have tightened up around the community, going downward and watching that have come through District 3, where I'm running that as a write-in candidate. Matter of fact, remember to write my name in as F. Hodo. And then make sure you shade in the box right next to my name. You got to write in W.F. Hodo. And that's H-O-D-O. H-O-D-O. And then shade the box in. Now, as I've been throughout the community my entire life, except for in college and living in Flint for 2 years, my entire life has been in District 3, 1965. I've watched this community go from beautiful homes, people having block parties, to areas that look like an apocalypse. I've watched community centers shut down. I've watched drugs come through the community. I've watched houses torn down and vacant lots left in their place. So tearing the house down and leaving a vacant lot still does not help their property value. So as I've traveled through the community over the years, where I coached at John J. Pershing High School as an assistant football coach, and actually had guys on the team that when I first started coaching, there were 50 guys on the team who weren't on probation for stealing cars and selling drugs. We were able to get over half of those guys in college, either on academic or athletic scholarships during those years that we coached. I also mentored young men through the Rights program W.E.B. Du Bois Preparatory Academy over next door to the Lewis College of Business. I worked with Mama Ayo at the Kabaz Black Jewel Center, doing everything from mentoring to chaperoning dances with the teenagers. I sat on the board of directors of the Northern State Fair Neighborhood Health and Empowerment Center, where we had 20-some odd computers. We had dashboards, we did health screening. We had our brother Kwazi Akumu coming through teaching photography. He was doing the photographer for. So, listed of some of the stuff, and as well as all of you know about who are regular listeners to 88.1 and TV 33 know that I was there doing the Hodo for over 20 years, where we brought you people like Danny Glover, Dick Gregory, Shahrazad Ali. We brought you the governor of Oklahoma there when the Oklahoma bombing took place. We brought you and who was in charge of finding all the dead bodies at the 911 site. That's just a few of the kind of things that we saw. And one thing with our show, we always solutions and not just talked about problems. So I've had the question asked of me, what benefits air and now running for city council? Sure, it taught me how to be a good listener. Secondarily, it taught me how to ask questions and straight to the point questions so that folks can't, at the city council table, run okie doke on the community. We want to be able to stabilize the housing stock in District 3. As I was saying, tearing down a house and for the community. And especially when a lot of torn down, really just have water heaters and pipes missing. And they're brick homes. On the historical values, three, such as the aviation school, of our block clubs in our community, such as Coney Gardens. Now, the aviation school has been trained to fly airplanes over at the city airport and alleged that the present administration plans on tearing out that said runway that the young people use to learn how to fly on. The other runway has been used like the yacht club for the rich. We want to make sure that we speak up to ensure that those infrastructure dollars that were awarded by the federal government and that was administered by the state, are supposed to be administered by the states and local governments, that the fair share of that loot comes to District 3. 3 has been completely, administration has been alleged to have said months ago about things going on in District 3. They said, we're going to just let the grass grow. You can very well see the truth of that statement. We need to revitalize and encourage new business development on 6 and 7 mile roads. We need our restaurants, not just Coney Islands and pop in a bar or have to stand at a window. People need to be able to do like we used to have, sit down with your family and enjoy a meal. And we need to start making sure our power wash, especially during a time like now with the COVID going on, and you see garbage piled up all around, bus stops, all on the seats, on the glass, on the ground, washed on a regular basis. We need to make sure that there are garbage cans in front of every business and bus stop and on the corner. Because could throw trash in the garbage can if it was there. We need to hold our businesses accountable for maintaining the cosmetic appearance surrounding the. They need to keep the. If we say that our businesses are just as good as those in the suburbs, we need to make them look like. We also need to be programs to bring federal dollars for home repair and senior home repair and distribution. We need some after-school programs for children with their homework. And we need a community city hall where residents in District 3 can come and get help and information been passing them by. And it needs to address this overtaxation of residential property, water shut-offs, utility shut-offs, putting up water with people who have underlying health issues, children, there's seniors in the house. And this is happening throughout Detroit, not just District 3. But these are just some of the things that we want to address. And one thing we want to make sure that everybody pays attention to is District 3 is the gateway into the city of Detroit from the suburbs on the east side. You can't get into Detroit on the east side without coming. You come a half mile past 8 Mile, and you think you entered a different world. Everything from the crumbling roads to the housing stock dilapidated, vacant lots, and just all around degradation. Sure, they have something to feel better about. So these are the things that just a few of the things that we're working towards, and things that we've been talking about well before we even thought about running for any kind of office. I'm not running as a politician. I'm running as a public servant. Because it's about time that those who community pay to look out for their best interests start serving the public as opposed to serving themselves or serving the community. So that's, and if you have any questions, I'm ready.
All right. We want to open up.
Says, where can he send?
Actually, we're going to be having a fundraiser on the 18th at Mr. Mapp's Lounge, which is 1627 East 7 Mile. The 1627 East 7 Mile, and that's a half block east of I-75 Expressway. And so we'll be doing a major fundraiser that day from organization, well, the friends of the organization of the Mamia, who are the Detroit Metro Area Musicians and Entertainers Association. The friends of the Mamia have endorsed me. The entertainment community has come out to endorse me, and they're the ones that's doing this fundraiser for us.
When is this fundraiser again? And where?
The 18th. So it'll be this Monday coming. Monday the 18th at 5, starting at 5 p.m., going to 9 p.m. at Mr. Mapp's Lounge, spelled MAPPS, and it's 1627 East 7 Mile Road.
All right. When is the election?
It's November 2nd.
Oh, okay. So you got a few weeks. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right. Anyone else have something they want to ask either Ms. Hitchcock or Mr. Hodo? Okay.
May Allah alaikum.
May wa alaikum.
Jameer, as you know, Sister Grace, I know you have dropped off a little literature over there. Feel free to drop off anything else over there that we might can help you with.
Thank you, brother.
I want to.
And see, now that's what I'm talking about with the stock of the buildings right there on Mount Elliott, where Sister 2 is. Sister's Grade 2 is a beauty to that area. But as you go down the same street, it looks like two different worlds from walking inside of Sister's Grade 2 as to walking into the rest of the businesses over there. So those are the things that got to be managed.
Well, you have the mayor, and yes, they're supposed to work together, but the city council is not supposed to be a rubber stamp for the mayor. It's a check and a balance system. That's part of the check and balance system in this country, and that ensures it was supposed to be set up to ensure that what the people in a community want happen. But in government, from the state level, city level to state level to national level, is now crumbling and falling apart at the seams because people get in office not because they want to serve their communities, but because they want to take advantage in a, I should say, misadvantage of the ignorance of the people that put their trust in them. So, I hope that many brothers like yourself, brother, that what you said you want to do, if you get in the office, and when you get in the office, don't forget what you said, and live up to what you said you would do or attempt to do, and keep the people informed. That is the best service that we can do for our communities, is to bring them true information about whatever occurs. We should always bring the truth or bring nothing.
Yes, sir.
That is, as the messenger said, if the truth will upset the peace and cause innocent people to be hurt worse than a lie, he said, remain silent. He didn't say lie to them. He said, remain silent. So, I want you to be able to express yourself. If you have anything that you want to, I told even Mayor Duggan, if he want to come on here and express himself and defend his positions, he's welcome to come on here. I want people to understand that if you telling if you are what you would say in the court system, when you go in and they ask you how do you plead, they will give you can either plead guilty or not guilty, but you have the right to plead one way or the other. But they say no contest. If you don't say nothing, then it's the same as guilty.
Yes, sir.
So, I don't want anybody to think that I'm just letting some people come in and keeping others out. No, I told you that I will help. I intend to help the city of Detroit. You're not helping if you're being one-sided and just want to let somebody talk from this side and won't let nobody say nothing from this side. Because if you come in here, you're going to be questioned from both sides. If I have any questions, I will ask. And
yes, sir.
If the people that's in the listening audience has questions, I expect you to sit there and answer their questions.
Definitely.
So,
now, son of man, this is one thing that we have to give props to your show your program because see, this election season is the quietest election season that it has ever been in the city of Detroit. No media is interviewing any candidate because it's been alleged that some dollars have been thrown out to make sure that no candidates are even mentioned on radio and TV shows. And if we've been paying attention and listening, it's very few that have been mentioned. Nobody's names are being mentioned. Even those who are already in office, names aren't being mentioned, which I think their lawyers probably told them to be quiet. But the names are, nobody's talking about any of these positions. And so the people, as in general, as I've been going door to door, some of them have forgotten that because it's been so quiet and nobody's talking to them. So these candidates who are already on the ballot expect to just slip back in there because it's been made not to have to be held accountable, or for those who are opposing them to be heard. Because I've only been able to get thus far. This is my second interview on a broadcast. I've been doing a lot of interviews on radio and then reposting it to social media and sharing it verbatim by email and having others in the community share all of the interviews by text. But it's been a tight on a program.
Well, I'll tell you, you have an open invitation. Any of you all that's get by the community, you have an open invitation to my broadcast. Anytime you feel you have something you want to share, it's no problem. We all have I was looking at and if someone have a question or whatever, you make sure you stop me. But I was looking at the way that the Republican Party is conducting themselves. Those who are Republicans now, I mean, it's actually the Tea Party, and they name themselves properly, because when you know the history of Tea Party and where that come from, that was a fake. That was a fake. The Boston Tea Party faking to be Native Americans that were really not Native Americans. They were settlers faking it, like these people faking to be Republicans, but they are not. Even a filibuster, maybe before the night is over with, I'll, read that to you. You, like it surprised me. One of the brothers brought it to my attention. These people have caught the American people, the masses of the American people, with their eyes closed, with their mind's eyes in a state of confusion, and they're house down. And this is the thing that is really it's disheartening to see a great nation or a great people that had the potential for greatness destroy themselves simply because of being misinformed and making the wrong choices. It's just like all of these sitting senators and Congress people, House of Representatives, that have accepted the payoffs and are going along with treason. They think, they are so short-sighted that they have not learned that the reason the American dollar is as powerful as it is because of the government that it represents. Now they're tearing that government apart and making the world lose trust in that government. And pretty soon, don't make no difference how many millions of dollars you got when the dollar has no value. When you have a government that cannot be trusted, people don't know. One of the things that made the United States a respected and powerful nation was that it made no difference who was president. The word or the agreements that the United States entered into, they were kept. Those agreements were kept. They understood. Every administration, every president understood that he had to keep the word, the good faith of the United States government. If the United States government gave its word on something, that was you could depend on it. Well, you just heard. I mean, it was disheartening to hear, but it was the truth. This particular Justice Department will hold people accountable. It didn't. You used to didn't hear the news media or the senator. I was listening to Senator Adam Schiff when he was talking about the Justice Department and how the Justice Department under William Barr was actually Trump's private Justice Department and not really upholding law, but upholding what Trump wanted by Mr. Barr and all of them that was in there. And now he says, now this Justice Department will hold people accountable. Well, you need to do something in the lawmaking body, the legislative body, to make sure that the Justice Department could never again be used by any sitting president to do his personal bidding. That whenever a president takes office, the Justice Department must have independence of his personal feelings. Because when you have a Justice Department that does not always uphold law, then you have no Justice Department at all. You see, and it's like that movie Billy Jack, when the man was talking about he was the police, he was the law, and Billy Jack told him, he said, when those who are supposed to uphold the law break the law, then there is no law, only a struggle for survival. And this is a sad ending for a nation that had the appearance and had greatness right at its fingertips and threw it all away in exchange for racism and bigotry and hatred of people who did nothing to them but served them. All Black people have done since we've been in this country is serve white people. And we served them in the truest sense of the word, because they put their mind in us and we became Black white people. And they still hated us. So I'm through trying to win your love. I could give less than a tinker's damn whether you love me or not. Since you don't want to do justice yourself, I'm going to show you justice. That's why I'm standing up here talking to you like I'm talking, and I'm talking to you in the public, in front of the whole world. And if you don't change, and I mean soon, when you do finally decide to change, it's going to be too late. Okay. So suit yourself. I want to thank our guests. Did we have some more questions? Yes, unmute them.
May Allah, assalamu alaikum.
May wa alaikum Allah salam.
Son man, we were trying to get in, and this has happened before, but it did say the 13th, which is today, but we were, in Monday's class. It was like, it sounds familiar, so we got in class late, so we were just wondering what was being discussed.
I'm not trying to go right way back to what was discussed. I need to be in class on time. That's unjust for me to be asked to recount what was said. You don't come in just a moment. You don't come into class late and then expect the teacher or the guest to go way back. We were going to we offered a forum to Mr. Hodo and to Ms. Hitchcock, and I will let them go back. Ms. Hitchcock, would you
Yes.
share with her what who it is that you think should be supported for mayor?
Actually, son of man, I'm so glad that she came in. I'm happy that she came in and asked those questions because I had some other things I wanted to say.
Okay.
To her, we're talking about the election that's coming up November 3rd in the city of Detroit and the climate and condition, political climate and conditions in the city of Detroit. When Hodo spoke about it being so quiet in the city of Detroit with an election coming up, Mike Duggan said that he would not debate the opposing candidate and give the candidate a stage for hate speech. What kind of
wait a minute? Wait a minute.
He said that, and give the city.
What was the hate speech?
Say something like that. The man wanted to debate him on the issues, but in order to have a smart comeback, his reason for not debating is to give a black candidate a stage for hate speech in a majority black city where they might speak up for black people, and Mayor Duggan would consider it hate speech. So that's one of the things that's normally done in any city during a mayoral election is a debate, and he refused to debate him.
Well, would you bring?
Certainly,
I'll be more
extend the invitation.
I mean, and
I'll do that.
And I will. You know, that's what they used to say about the Nation of Islam when we would be talking about the atrocities that white people did to us, and they said we was teaching hate. In reality, we was teaching the truth that they hated to hear, and that's an old trick that it don't work no more.
I want something else. What is taking place in the city of Detroit was deliberate. It was not a creep that was not planned. It was absolutely planned in order to drive black people out of the city of Detroit. We have money in Detroit. We pay taxes. We have money in Detroit that is never used for the benefit of the people of the city of Detroit. Our tax dollars are always and used to benefit white people. I'm going to give you an example. When I was in high school, I could go down to the city-county building, take a typing test, pass the test, get an interview, get a city of Detroit job, take my income, purchase a home in the city of Detroit, pay my taxes, and my city would thrive. In an effort to get black people out of the city of Detroit, have been privatized, and I don't know if that means that when you privatize something, a contractor, more than likely a white contractor who lived out the city of Detroit, always winds up with the contracts. So what happens? He hires his family and his friends first who live in the suburbs, and then he hires other people who may or may not live in the suburbs. So that means that our tax dollars that we pay into the kitty does not benefit the people. We pay taxes. They ask us to pay more taxes. As a matter of fact, when they stole that $600 million from us in over-assessed property taxes, they had the gall to come back and ask for $250 million to tear down houses, and they said to rehab houses, but it's not done for the benefit of the people in the city. Money that comes in from the federal government that we pay to the federal government, when it gets back to the city of Detroit, such as home repair money, the city of Detroit would take that and turn it into, from grant to loan money, and tell you that you'll get a low interest rate. You say, okay. Most black people in the city of Detroit never get qualified for those loans. Everything that takes place in the city is designed to drive black people out of the city. Everything that we paid for in taxes over the last 50 years, somebody else has control of it. Belle Isle, privatized, hijacked. City of Detroit Water Department, privatized, stolen. Eastern Market no longer under control. Detroit Zoo is now Cobo Hall. Cobo Center is now under the control of somebody else besides the city of Detroit. A $300 garden. When you pay property taxes, the city, it's a entity. Your tax dollars are supposed to provide you with police, fire, recreation centers, education, all just the things that are normal in the city. We are not supposed to have to sweep our streets. Already paid to have garbage picked up. We paid for all those things. And even if the garbage is not picked up by residents of the city of Detroit, the garbage service is privatized. Privatized means that we don't have city of Detroit garbage trucks. We have suburban trucks driving into the city of Detroit because somebody's got a track to pick up the garbage. Our people do not get the jobs to pick up the garbage. What happens to those jobs? Our churches who are involved in this corruption, who serve at the behest of the mayor, a white mayor in the city of Detroit, go and get a contract, those positions. So the church members get first deal on the contract after the minister takes his cut off the top of the contract. The church members get a job through a contract. They get some money from the city of Detroit. They get a better way of living, and the first thing that they do is move outside the city. Drive by some of these black churches in the city of Detroit and look at the parking lot. grass is growing in the parking lot. The church members no longer live. They have moved to the suburbs because convinced that Detroit is nothing but a pit. Everything that's happened, your recreation center to get their shots for school, all things. So it's deliberate. Everything that has happened in here was done to drive Black people out of the city of Detroit. So don't take that on yourself to think that you're somehow responsible. You're responsible unless you continue to vote for people who do not serve your interests. They have some proposals on the ballot this time. I had tried to line up someone to speak, and they were. So I'll take on the responsibility to read those and come back on Friday and give you my opinion on it. But my opinion, as far as proposals go, especially these on this ballot, is to vote no on these proposals because they of night. But I'll come back and give you my opinion on that.
Okay.
So I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak, and I always appreciate the fact that you make me feel welcome.
Well, you are welcome. I mean, all of our people are welcome to come in here, especially the those who are politically. So I know this thing about privatizing everything. I mean, even when the white black mayors was in there, Dave Bing and Kwame Patrick, they was giving stuff away that they should have held on to, that the city should have held on, and the city council went along with it.
Senator Man,
Yes,
they killed residency in the city of Detroit.
Yes, ma'am.
Which meant that the militia, the Ku Klux Klan, from up in northern Michigan, could come and police Black people in the city of Detroit. I'm going to say 50% white in a majority Black city. And you have people coming from outside the city who care nothing about the people of the city of Detroit. When we have peaceful protesters on the street, they think nothing of attacking those people and beating them down.
I know. I mean, that's what cowards do. You know.
And policemen are always coward, because when I think about it, a policeman never beats a Black man when he's alone. It's always at least two, and often it's 6 of them that attacks a Black man.
Well, like I said, you know, we take it, and from bully, he will do so. And as long as we are divided and we don't have love in our hearts, we say all of the right things. We say we love one another, but our actions say just the opposite. This is us talking now. I mean, it's other people listening. It's us, Black people, talking now. We raise all kind of hell when a white man kill a Black man. We don't raise no hell at all when somebody Black kill us. And as long as it's just like with the Muslims, I say this, and I mean it. I mean it from my heart. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us to love our brothers and sisters, and don't care who you were. If you hurt my Muslim brother or sister, you ain't gonna walk around smiling and grinning about it. You ain't. And I'll say enough on that. But the fact of the matter is, you know, when you really love one another, people will stop mistreating you. People will be afraid to mistreat you. Your love for one another is what threatens people. It's like people used to tell us, I don't join because your Muslims kill people. They don't Muslim killing nobody. And think you're going to just walk. The right of self-defense is something that God gave every creature that cannot be taken away from you unless you. So let's start holding ourselves accountable for the wrongs that we do to our people. Let's hold ourselves accountable. And once people see that you hold yourself accountable, they know what to expect if they do something to you. And that stuff will stop. Yes. What is?
So man, you always say that, as Agnes was mentioning, how people are running from the city of Detroit, but you're running from yourself. No matter where you run, you're always there.
Yep.
You can't run from yourself. You got to make a stand what you got right here, right now, as opposed to running away, because eventually you're going to catch up to yourself again.
That's the first thing any of our people that have funds do, that have means do. They move away from their own people. That's why communities stay run down. If all these wealthy black people, we got millionaires and billionaires that's black people in this country. If all of them would move back to the black community, we could really build our communities up and make them so beautiful. But we still got the wrong mind. And until we have a mind that belongs in us and not white people, we are, our communities is more dangerous than any. We got to stop that.
First elected to office, the plan was executed. One of the first things they did was set up for young black men.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say young black men, I mean like maybe 14, 15, 16-year-old young black men.
Yes, ma'am.
They crimes that would take them to jail, but they may have not to go back to school for whatever reason. They may have decided to smoke cigarettes or drink beer and not go to school. So they were, but it was decided that to make white people feel comfortable to come back in the city of Detroit, these young black men were put in what was called the boot camp. They told the parents that if you put him in a boot camp, we'll give him an education and give him a trade, and when he turns 18, we'll let him go. So when these while they're making white people feel comfortable coming back in the city of Detroit, these young men are in the boot camp. What happened is when they're in boot camp, they had time added on to 18 years old. If they disrespected somebody in authority, their time was extended again. So what you have is young black men who never committed a crime were put into prison that was called the boot camp. They didn't get an education. They didn't get a trade. They didn't get released when they were 18. When those young men got released, they were angry. They are still angry. He was an adventurous kid, but his mother was too busy to parent him. He rebelled, but he never committed a crime and went to jail. Jay got caught up in that boot camp. Hell past the time he was 18. And as soon as that little boy got on the ground, he came back to the neighborhood, carjacked somebody. So in order to make white people comfortable coming back in the city of Detroit, they scooped up all these young boys, put them in boot camp, and that was what they went. They're angry. They don't even know why they're angry. Carjacking started. Drive-by shooting started. it goes on and on. So those young men, I'm going to say, I don't know if they have a right to be that angry. They don't know why they're angry, but I know what happened to them.
That taught me to control myself. And the way he taught me to control myself is when he might catch me running over my mother and not paying attention, and I would, when he wasn't around, I would pretend I didn't hear her. Here's my father. Like all, to be honest, ain't no young man scared of his mama. But anyway, the welfare system ran the daddy out the house. Women started telling they, man, I don't need you. And that was the worst thing that could have happened. You know, a young man growing up without a father is, like the messenger said, there ain't nothing worse than a man with a woman's mind. That's why they so emotional. These young men now, you raise your voice a little bit, they go off. They get crazy. They think you disrespecting them when you talk to them like a man talks to another man. And that's, women can't stand be hollered at, but men, I grew up, my daddy hollered at me all the time. He didn't talk to me like he talked to my sisters. And I grew to understand that more was expected out of me. I was, he wanted me to be a man. And so we have just been raped and robbed and kowtowing to these young men is not helping them. If you want to help him, you got to tell him, look, stop making excuses for so your daddy wasn't around, this wasn't happening, this wasn't that. That ain't no excuse for you to be out here acting a fool. But we sympathize, and in so many ways, in so many words, we are telling them that it's okay. No, it's not okay. That's the reason why a lot of young men started leaving the church and joining the nation, was because the Nation of Islam, when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was here, was making men out of us. He taught us to stand up for something, stand for what's right, respect your mother and your father. And that's that teaching was taught to me by my parents, but it was reiterated when I joined the Nation of Islam under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And to this day, I'm so thankful. And I try to teach all the young men that's with me. Look, we cannot sit down or fall down in the floor and cry like babies when things don't go our way. We see the problem, then instead of complaining about it, get up and fix it. You know, our women need us to be men, not babies looking for them to pat us on the head and tell us it's gonna be all right, baby. Baby this, baby that. No, I'm not no baby. I'm a man, and I'm gonna do what other men do for their women and their children. I'm gonna stand up for them. I'm gonna provide for them. I'm gonna protect them with my life. The best protection that I can put on my community is to enlighten their minds. And then when I go out dealing with people who are not of my community, show them people the same courtesy and respect that I want to be shown. And that's what I do. I'm not walking around with a chip on my shoulder. But somebody like the skinheads and the Ku Klux Klan and all them people, they ain't got no wolf tickets to sell me. his behind it will suffer from a good whipping, just like mine will. Now, if he leave me alone, I'll leave him alone. But if he attack me, I will defend myself.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Somebody raised their hand.
What is it? On you.
May Allah, assalamu alaikum, son of man.
May wa alaikum Allah salam.
Ms. Hitchcock, a question about District 1.
Go ahead.
I have someone I haven't heard of, which is a sister named Crystal. Have you heard anything about her?
Crystal what?
It's just Crystal for counsel. Crystal LaRosa. I'm sorry.
Ms. Hitchcock?
The only thing that I remember about Rosa is, I tell you what, brother, Son of Man is going to let me come back on Friday, and
Yes,
I will research Crystal LaRosa. Who's her opponent in that district?
That's the whole thing. I can't even remember. I haven't heard from him or anything about him and who was there last time. I haven't even gotten his feet. Or anything from him this year, and I'm pretty much like, wow. Like the brother Hodo said, it's been so quiet, and had other things on my mind for District 1 election.
Well,
And that's what I have to do, brother, is go on the city of Detroit's website and look at it, and it will tell you who your city council person is in your district. You know, if you know your boundaries where you live, like for instance, from 8 Mile, 6 Mile, and east of John, all the way to right at the border of Harper Woods. And then go south. Yeah. So, like I said, you have to look at the map and all that there, but you also they show you the picture of whoever your council person is in that district. Mm-hmm. So that'll be the easiest way to do it.
All right.
All righty then.
in. It's
Yeah,
who
but he said he didn't know he said he didn't even know who the last council person.
Okay, well, you sure can't vote for somebody and you don't even know they're on the ballot. That's for sure.
Well,
That's what I'm saying. That I was talking about, these people are thinking they're going to just, because it's so quiet.
I just looked at the computer, and James Tate is the person in District 1. So, James vote for Mike Duggan.
Right, that's what I thought.
So
it was somebody you spoke on.
Now, you didn't ask me about Tate. You is, in many cases, when I vote against. I don't particularly vote for a person, but if Crystal is the only person on the ballot against James Tate, James Tate is a sure vote for Mike Duggan. Personally, I would vote for Crystal.
Okay, she is the only one opposing him.
Okay, so you have James Tate and Crystal.
And Crystal Rose.
Yep. I would like y'all to get them. Y'all get those people that we saying we would vote for to get them to come on here and commit to something.
Okay. I will invite Crystal LaRosa to come on, and the other candidates, I'll also invite them. And I will research those proposals and report those to you on Friday.
And so yes, ma'am. I want to gonna support. If we're gonna support these people, we need to know that they're gonna get in there and do something different, and we'll have something to call them to account for.
So man, you know, a lot of people out here always say that during election season they have to hold their nose and vote for the lesser two evils.
That's how they got Trump.
Realize that the lesser two evils is still evil.
They got Donald Trump and then almost lost their country. Hold my nose and vote for. I ain't gonna hold my nose. If I got to hold my nose and vote, I'm not gonna vote for you. I'm not gonna put no skunk in the office. No, no. Let's get them to commit to something, Ms. Hitchcock. Get them in here if you can. That's the first good sign. If they'll come in here and talk to us,
I'll invite them.
People want to get over you and don't even want to talk to you.
So man, I did an interview with Theo Broden on another station Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, there are a couple other write-in candidates as well in District 3. One of them called in. And he said that he had 9 years experience working for the city council. And so, I asked, you know, he said he worked for 3 different city council people over a 9-year period. So I asked him if I could ask him a question. I said, what are the names of the council people that you work for? One was Scott Benson, who is the one that we're running against right now, who the feds raided, and our office, the city county building. The other one was Ms. Ayers, who the feds raided her house and our office. The third one was Ken Cockrell Jr., who gave away the water department. And so I asked him, I said, so you worked for all of the ones who sold out to people. And they hired me. They wanted me to work for them. I said, so you couldn't quit? I told the air, and I would cut spots for people and put. The whole staff knew if I knew these people were crook, my voice was not going on nobody's commercial later for that money. Kind of thing. So if they work for crooks knowingly, they're the same super who warmed over trying to get an office. This guy named Adam Money. And so he was peculiar, so to speak, at me, for bringing that up. But the thing is, if you work for people and you know they will run a game on the people, you candidate, a young Caucasian lady who's running the name of Simpson, you had another candidate for him, and all her claim to fame was to say, I was a walker for Obama. And I had to tell her, I've been walking through the community my entire life and doing more than just walking. But these are the kind of people that are coming out to disrupt the process, because I'm almost close to thinking that they're ringers to try to get the people back in that were already there.
Well,
so
I'm telling you,
you know,
I'll tell you this. It's country about. Then you should encourage the most primary importance is institutions to dispense truth, to dispense knowledge. Because your government is not going to be, if it's an elected government from the people, your government is not going to be any better than the enlightened or unenlightened people that you have to choose from to run the government, to be the government. And that's why you notice we get dissatisfied. We elect people and they always let us down. They fall short. Because I mean we trying to catch trout out of a stream that ain't nothing but catfish in. So I'm telling you, you better, if you don't start caring about each other and really having real conversations to encourage people to learn and not just be indoctrinated. It's a difference in being indoctrinated and in learning. You know, just taking whoever get to you first, you just take what they say and you never questioned it or whatnot. And as the messenger told us, he said, brother, your problem is you did not question the first teacher. But when somebody comes contradicting what the first teacher told you, you full of questions. But you didn't ask no questions to the one who taught you that stuff in the first place. So, you know, we have to start with love of our community. You'll be surprised what love for your community will do for you. It will make you able to ask the right questions. It will make you able to be on the watch to for the safety of your community. But without love, you have nothing. So anyway,
Uh,
go ahead.
So, man,
Yes, sir.
now, a few years ago, I'll say about maybe 10, 12 years ago, I was covering the election period, and there was a forum near downtown where these prospective folks who wanted to learn how to be city council people and that kind of thing, and Tom Barrow and some others were there that, you know, to facilitate the information. There's a big-time campaign manager from California via Skype. And he was telling them how to find dollars and da. So I asked him, how do you find dollars? And he said, what you do, same people that gave money to the one who was. And then I asked him, if they're getting the same dollars, they're making the same commitments that the ones who are already in office had made to these people. No matter what the faith is in the office, you still got the dollars are the ones facilitating them being there. And he said, you know what, sir? You're right.
Well, I mean, is the light, brother. You can't. There's no arguing with the truth. I mean, if as long as one person to donate or one group to donate to a campaign, they put their government up for sale. It's still for sale, and that wasn't the way it was initially. When the white man was really ruling, he understood that you can't let people buy your politicians. You can't let people just put as much money they want into a campaign for somebody. You have to limit that, and that way, the whoever run for office knows that they have to answer to the people, and not to the one who bought the election. So, but anyway, we could go on and on and on, but I want to make sure that all of you know that you have my request to bring in those who running for office into this forum, and we will give them as much time as they need to you know, if they ain't gonna rush them out. You know, if let us question you, let us find out what your program is, what you want to do, and whether you are abreast to what's going on in the community and to the needs of the community. And so tell them ain't nobody gonna ambush them in here, but they come in here and talk to us. And let's do that. Miss Hitchcock, Friday,
Yes, sir.
Sunday,
Yes.
and any other
Yes.
day you want to come on in here and bring some of them in here. Bring them in here.
Okay. And once again, I'd like to thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
And I've enjoyed the exchange.
So,
And I'll see you on Friday.
all right. Brother, hold on. You
Yes, sir.
feel free to come back and talk to us, brother.
Yes, sir. Well,
All right.
can I leave the audience my phone number,
You
email?
certainly can.
Yes, sir. Now, this is one thing, son of man,
Yes.
that I have gotten from you. I've been telling the people, I've been giving out my phone number, the same phone number I use as my business number for the last 25 years.
Uh-huh.
I've been giving people know that when I get in office, I'm still going to be giving out a phone number where people can get directly to me, where they won't be filtered by a bunch of staff, so that way, just in case somebody slipped up against a staff member to make you look bad, I'll be able to take that filter out of there. Call it 313-685-6777. And you can email us information at Hodo, that's H-O-D-O, Love Detroit. Hodo, Love Detroit at gmail.com. And don't forget about our fundraiser that's being presented by the Friends of Demania, the Detroit Metro Hodo, write-in candidate for 3 in Detroit. And it will be at Mr. Mapp's Lounge, 1627 East 7 Mile, 1627 East 7 Mile. And it is inside of District 3, and that would be 1/2 mile of I-75 Expressway. And one last thing, I'd like to let you know the boundaries of District 3, because you may not know that you are in the district, or you may think you're in the district and you're not. We go from John R. East from 8 Mile to 6 Mile underneath Highland Park and underneath Hamtramck. And then we go further east to the border of Harper Woods. Then it goes up to Harper, cuts across, and then back down underneath Hamtramck and Highland Park again. So that encompasses the city airport and a few other jewels. Like, for instance, there are a lot of historical areas in District 3 that nobody gives any credence to. Some of the first well-off Black people lived in District School in District 3. And we had places like, it used to be the Hawthorne Recreation Center that became Hawthorne Park, where many of us grew up learning how to box. There are championship fighters that grew up in District 3, such as Milton McQuarrie, Jimmy Paul, and Steve McQuarrie, who won a gold medal in the Olympics. You had Darnell Hall, who broke a record in the Olympics in the early 90s, in the 440. You had Steve Smith, pro basketball player, who came from my alma mater. You also had Spencer Haywood. You had Ryan Banks from the Dramatics. You had members from the Floaters. There's been a lot that has gone on in District 3 that nobody even thinks about. And because of the way the community centers have been closed down, and then when they're open, none of the people who are running them live in the community. And I know this for a fact because I just went to Lasky Center 2 weeks ago when they had their grand opening, and none of the people lived in that community because I asked them. So we got to start making sure that we open more community centers as opposed to playgrounds, because children can't do anything in the playground in the wintertime. Some supervision, because there's no supervision on the playground. So all of these issues are just a few of the things, but we got to first get in office to you. Everybody out there not in District 3, you still can help us with the campaign. you may know a whole lot of people in District 3. You may have family members in District 3. So you don't have to live in District 3 to help Jeff Hodo, who is a write-in candidate, into District 3 City Council seat. Because even though I'll be in District 3, still make votes. I'll be still making votes that will deal with what's going on in the entire city. By district, but also you got to coordinate with the other council people across the city. Do they have for the whole city? Do they have a love for the community, or do they just have a love for a couple dollars? As I was talking about earlier, when I was saying getting in office because the same dollars are behind. The first thing we got to learn is who's giving them the dollars, so that way we know who's giving all the people the dollars, and we won't be getting the same people. Suggested years ago, which I know is probably a cap of $3,000 should be put on all campaigns. That way, the people who have a good house, a lot of money, could get it off. As those who have millions of dollars, throwing it up in the air, $15 million here or $5 million there, better for a seat that pays $250,000 a year. Happen, everybody should know something. So man, I want you again for allowing me to come in and let the citizens of Detroit know that I'm still your brother if there's no other.
Yes, sir.
And I'm Hodo. Who are you? Thank
you that are into the political world. I don't have to tell you, you see it for yourself, how confused it has become. So I can give you guidance, but I can't make you take it. As the old saying, you can lead the horse to some water, but you can't make him drink. You know, I have people that say they my followers, but they don't do what I say. But they say they my followers. So the Holy Quran says there are some men that say they believe in some people who say they believe in Allah in the last day, and they are not believers. They seek to deceive Allah and those who believe, and they deceive only themselves, and they perceive not. So I want you to look at our condition in this country. And if we know so much, you know, ask yourself, if you know so much, where's your proof of what you know by what you're doing? As the book of James says, yeah, a man may say, show me your faith without works, and I will show you my faith by my works. And so, you know, you anything else, any of you that you wanted to ask me, I would go to some of them who had things they wanted to say to me and was too afraid to come in here and say a note.
Yes, sir. The first one was, he says, man, you was in the nation for a less than a year. How are you going to know what's really going on ever rose in the ranks? Talking about the messenger didn't teach big I and little you, then why did he have ranks?
Well, he had a point there. this is somebody who says to me, man, you wasn't in the nation less than a year. Well, actually, I was there 2 years under the messenger. But you wasn't there at all. So, so if you say that I can't know much, because I was of less than a year, you say, but then what does that say about you coming in here trying to argue with me, and you never was there? Period. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he said, you give me about 6 months. He said, give me about 6 months and I'll have you so smart that you'll be able to time around your little finger. He knew that it didn't take me no. Let me show you something. A lot of times people, see, you don't know who you're talking to. You don't believe who you're talking to, and it shows. This is a in Matthew. This is the 10th. Let's go to Mark, the 10th chapter. See, you think that because somebody been around something for a long time, that makes them no more than somebody who hadn't been there long. W.D. Muhammad had been around the messenger all his life, and yet W.D. Muhammad went astray and did not believe that the messenger was the messenger of Allah. And he grew up in the messenger's house. You know, just because a man is a messenger of God, just because Allah chooses a man to be his messenger, that don't mean that man's children and his family will believe in him. David had a son that tried to kill him. I didn't hear you. All right, now let's see here. This is Mark, the 10th chapter. And I'm going to just cut to the 45th verse. It says, for even the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. The messenger's job wasn't to, the messenger's job was to give me the knowledge of who I am, and then tell me, now you want to talk to God, you go read the scriptures because it's all written to you. Do you understand? So now, as far as big eyes and little U's, the messenger taught me that there are no big eyes and little U's in Islam. And yes, he did set up a rank structure. But the reason he set that up was to show me not just that there are no big eyes and little U's in Islam, but he showed me why there are no big eyes and little U's. He said, watch this. And he made captains and lieutenants and squad leaders and ministers. And then he said, now watch how they act. He said, now you see why there ain't no big eyes and little U's in Islam. So I got the lesson out of it. You sitting up there thinking that he didn't teach that, but anybody who was in the nation knows that he taught that. Matter of fact, in the last Savior's Day, he said, we are a people that do not think that we are big eyes. We think we are little U's and not big eyes. Do you understand? So he don't have the slightest clue, but you can tell he wasn't never around when the messenger was here. So you can go to the next one. What was the next one?
The next one, his screen name is CCCLR.
CC Ride. Okay, go ahead.
He says, if you feel you're the son of God,
I don't feel I'm the son of man. I know I'm the son of man. See, that there again. Do you have some proof that I'm not? I didn't tell you I feel that I'm the son of man. I told you I'm the son of man. But anyway, go and read what he said.
he says, then why did you feel the need to take man-made virus shot? God has the power to heal. God is the healer.
Well, Noah was the messenger of God, and why did he build a boat? God have all power. God didn't need him to go build no boat and save. He could have saved his family without a boat. Why did he have to build a boat? What kind of question is that? Hey, let's go to Moses for a minute. Since God had all the power, why Moses and them had to put blood signs on the doorpost to keep the death angel from killing their firstborn? Wouldn't God know who was to kill and who wouldn't? Why they need to put a blood sign on the door? See, you one of them fools out there that didn't take that vaccine. Now, when you laying up there like a fish out of water, you go think about what you just said to me. Okay. Next.
That was it.
I'm gonna tell you something else. To show you how backwards these people are, if you ask that same fella, have you ever been vaccinated for anything? You said, yeah. You still here, huh? You know, if you understood the scriptures, you would know that all power, all knowledge is given by one authority, and that is God. That's why he said, let me go to, what is that, Romans, 13th chapter? Was it Romans? I mean, I like to give people scriptures. It says, let every soul be subject. You know what subject means? Be under the authority. Let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Now, all of you who telling me that I should not have, of course, I really didn't have to take the shot. I took it because I said I would help President Biden as much as I could. And so many people told me they took it because they saw me take it. And my followers took it because I told them to. Do you understand? And at the same time, if I had told them to take it, do you suppose Moses told them to put a blood sign on their door and didn't put none on his? I didn't hear you.
No, sir.
I didn't read in there where God told Moses, had him to put a blood sign on the door, but don't worry about yours. Huh?
No, sir.
So, see, I live my life trusting in Allah's word. So why would I tell you to take it, and then you looking at me wondering? I know a lot of them was wondering when I was going to go take it, because I know us. I know us. They wouldn't own up to it, but I know they was thinking it. When they knew anything, I had taken it. So I stopped all that kind of foolishness before it got started. So then it says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of God. Why is the white man's symbol the cross? Come on, all you smart people out there, all you people that's mad at me because I'm saying I feel I'm the Son of Man. Come on in and tell me, why is the white man's symbol the cross?
Excuse me, sir. Somebody
Yes.
calling from a restricted number.
Tell him to hang up and call back and put his number in there. I'm through letting you hide while you trying to. Ain't no hiding place. Now, you want to come in here and talk to me? Unrestrict your number. Now,
Sir, excuse me. Wait, somebody else is chiming in here. His screen name is Corey Pink.
Okay, well, tell Corey to call on in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's where you do that. So when you when I ask you, why is the white man's sign the cross? You notice you go way back in their history and all of their religious and religions that they have had. The cross has been there. Why is that? So it's much that you need to learn. You'll notice as it says, there is no power, for the powers that be, the powers that exist are ordained of God. God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have what?
Dominion.
If God say let them have dominion, then that means let everybody be subject unto the ones that God give dominion to. I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
No, I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Maybe I missed something. I remember the messenger said. He said, just remember, you are honoring a ruler. If God give way to them to rule, then you're honoring a ruler. Honor and respect the man. Huh? Yeah, that's what he said. He didn't get on us. Why the screen go dark? Did you darken it? So I'm waiting on them. I'm being patient to wait on them to come in and talk to me. Did the fella call back?
No, sir.
What are you hiding for, man? You must don't mean well. Anyway, stop hiding your number. Call in and talk to them. I'm still waiting on one of y'all to tell me why the white man's religion and his symbol is the cross. Why you don't answer me? But anyway, did you know Q is in the Bible? What these people doing with Q? How many of y'all knew that? So there's a lot of things that you don't know, but I do, because Allah makes me know these things. Now, the reason the white man, why White folks, don't you want to come in here and tell us why your symbol is the cross? That's right. You don't want to tell it because then some of you took an oath not to tell it, huh? But I'll tell it, and I'll prove it. This is over in. Let me see here. Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter. It says, and I'm going to go to the 22nd verse. It says, for as in Adam, all die. And the Holy Quran says, die not unless you are submitting ones. Well, God said, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers. Now, you have to admit, if it had not been for white folks, we wouldn't have the slightest clue to what that virus looked like. Let alone, we wouldn't even know that the virus was here. We'd see people dying and wouldn't even know what they were dying from. I don't know. Come on, let's talk to each other. Let's talk turkey. Even that is it is a symbolic statement. Talk turkey. Turkey is the Orthodox Muslim, that first Islam. To talk turkey is to talk truth. You see, but what truth? The natural truth. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So he he was given dominion. And since the natural mind needed to be undistracted, so Allah didn't give him no spiritual understanding. He gave him natural understanding. He was to bear natural knowledge. He was to carry natural knowledge. And he was to have dominion over the fowl of the air and over the fish of the sea. You can't have dominion over anything that you don't have knowledge of. You have to know the truth of that thing in order to have dominion over it. Do you understand? And so Allah gave him dominion over the fowl of the air. You notice he named all of the birds. And we be trying to figure out where he come up with these names. God gave them to him. I didn't and you see, the white man let you think that he thought it up on his own. No. Why you think his fathers, they told the truth in a hidden way when he said he had a manifest destiny, meaning he had a written destiny to have dominion over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And that was his written destiny, his manifest destiny. And so when the book says, for as in Adam, all die spiritually. That's why you ain't got no peace nowhere on earth. Because Allah is the author of peace and righteousness. There is no peace in wickedness. No peace, saith the Lord, to who?
The wicked.
To the wicked. no peace. He was told to go and have dominion over the fowl of the air, the fish of the sea, over the cattle, over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. And God told them to go, and he blessed them. He told them, let me see here. I'm not going to paraphrase that. I'm going to go right here to Genesis in the 27th verse. And the first chapter. And it says, the 27th verse says, so God created, meaning God taught man in his own image, in his own word, written word. Yaqub never met a white man. Yaqub never saw a white man, but he left the knowledge back here to be taught to him. And he says, in the image of God. What are we doing when we read a book? We are looking at images of the mind that authored the book. Word, the writing on this page is not a word, it's an image representing a word. And it says, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, finish the earth, and subdue it. If you tell somebody to go subdue something, that means take it by force, by any means necessary. I didn't hear you. It says, subdue and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. So that's what he gave white people. He gave them that order, and they've been doing that ever since. And he was told how long to do it. If he was told to go do something, when you say, go do this, go do that, they telling you to go to work, ain't they? Ain't it?
Yes, sir.
6 days shall you labor and do all of that work. Huh?
Yes, sir.
But the Sabbath day, that's the day of the Son of Man, the day of the Lord. Stop your work. For if you don't, you shall surely be put to death. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Things you used to find easy to do, you're going to find that they ain't so easy no more now that I done told you should stop and you didn't. And take it from you. That mind that you did have to work together in unity and bring all your worlds together in unity, that mind is going to be taken from you. So now you're going to have one kingdom in your world against the other kingdom. Huh? Kingdom against kingdom and nation against nation. And that's what you got going on now, you see, because your time to rule us is gone. White people, your time is up. It's my turn now. That's why you can't do nothing but sit there and be mad. And by being mad at me, you hastening your doom. The scripture told you to kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and you perish from the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. It ain't hard to make you perish from the way. All you have to do is just deprive you of oxygen. You ain't got to take it all away from you, just enough till your brain don't function right. Then you walk around here telling people that mask is killing people. I'm through with it. So let's go on. I told you, you don't know, you really don't know how vulnerable you are. Flesh is weak, man. You run around here talking about white white power and white church. Black power, white power, that stuff don't mean nothing. Mind power. Who instructs the flesh? That's the one with the power. These is the puppets. The puppet master, you don't see him. Then they. So anyway, with all the people that was trying to talk to me, I'm trying to wait on them to come on in here.
Corey's still typing. He says, why does he have to call in?
Why do you have to call in? You've been on Twitter and Facebook and stuff too long. Y'all done got so used to thinking that you having a conversation at a keyboard. That's not a conversation. You writing letters to each other. That's not no conversation. A conversation takes place when you having verbal back and forth with each other. You don't go to. When the last time you went to a class? Now let me show you how backwards you are and how backwards that question was. When you were sitting up in grade school and the teacher was standing there talking, was you passing notes up there to the teacher? Come on, did you write notes with your question on that? Or did your hand go up and the teacher recognized you and you talked to the teacher?
My hand went up and the teacher acknowledged me and asked me what was my question.
Well, what's these people that want to come in here and act like they don't know how class goes? Huh? They done been dumbed down so much that they done forgot how to hold an intelligent conversation with another person. They're so used to typing instead of, even right now, if they type something on there, they put a U and a R, and then they might spell right. But you are the letter U and the letter R. And that's their way of saying you are right. They just that lazy. And you know, the mind has got so lazy that when they have to talk to a person, their linguistic skills have become non-existent. It's just like, let me show you. You notice if you in a bed and you're bedridden for weeks or a month or so, and you have been in bed that long, when you go to get up, it's hard to get up and you get dizzy and you just can't, your body just can't go from that, having adjusted to being laying down, to standing up. And you remember in the Matrix when Neo was asking, what's wrong with my eyes? And he said, I can't move. He said, well, you have atrophy. You haven't never used your limbs. Huh? See, they have actually stopped using their verbal communications, and now they are at a loss to talk to someone verbally, even frightened. It's like the you remember the fella on the Wizard of Oz? The wizard? He was tough when he was behind the curtain and talking through that dummy up there, huh? But when the little dog pulled the curtain back and he looked back and he said, don't pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. You're the one that's out here talking about. And he was just the opposite of what all that stuff that he had out there fronting up. It's just like them. I mean, you would think that they would welcome the opportunity to come in here and give me a little piece of their mind, huh? If they disagree with me that much, you welcome the opportunity to question this man and find out and show that he don't know what he's talking about by questioning him, huh? And instead, he punk out and asked me why I got to call in, huh? He don't want you to hear that he really don't know what he's talking about. What he's really doing now is trying to get him a gang up to having a conversation, and he wants to start something in my class that they do when the president is talking or when somebody else is talking. They there, instead of listening, they there typing insults and all of that kind of thing, because they're a bunch of cowards, a bunch of liars, a bunch of people who really don't give a damn about anything but who they can find to insult. You understand? Okay. So now, if he typing something else, just boot him on out. Okay. Now, was there anybody else?
No, sir.
Okay. See, I don't boot him out and don't let you know why. You know, Allah ain't never punished somebody or chastised somebody and the world didn't know why. If he was in public and he was doing it, you knew why they got what they got. Huh? You don't hear nobody telling me I was wrong for telling that man what I just said. You know, no. How am I wrong? Here, I'm standing up here willing to talk to you, but you're not willing to talk to me, but you want me to read your letter. I'm about to say to hell with you and your letter. You better be glad I just put you out. So now, as Adam, if Adam all die, then Adam's sign is the cross. The cross is a symbol for what?
Death.
Yes. Remember I showed you on that beginning of Ben Casey where the white man noticed the cross is a symbol for death. It said man, woman, birth, death, and that's a cross, and infinity. I didn't even turn the TV on today. I don't mind showing you these things. I like showing it to you. That way you don't accuse me of lying. I don't want nobody to think I'm lying. A lot of things I'd like to show you. Get back to find out. But I want you to see that when I tell you something, I can show you where I get it from. That way, you don't accuse me of just making something up. Now, if I show you where I got it from, then you can later on you can go back and check it, or you can check it while I'm on the air and say, well, I don't agree. I don't believe that mean that. Then I can say, well, what do it mean? You understand? You remember when I'd be explaining something that I was reading from the scriptures, and I'd say, turn to this scripture there, and I say, now you want to Geno Jennings, I said, you want to explain it? He said, no, you the son of man, you explain it. You remember that? You know why he said no? Because he couldn't explain it. Huh? You notice whenever I gave explanation of a scripture, he didn't say that don't mean that. He ignored it and went to something else. You understand? See? I'm the only one that can stand up and let somebody call themselves explaining something and tell them that don't mean that. You understand? Now, what does Q do? They make up stuff. Huh? They tell you that people is eating babies. And just a moment here. Man, this is some way out stuff. Let's see. I just happened to find some of it. And
truth, and that's partly what all of this was for, is because, you know, with the cicada thing, I wanted to show people that not only was this group dangerous, but this group had the ability to do something bigger, and they did. You know, his group, they started stalking me, like online, calling me a pedophile. Like on my live streams, I would have people that would just come in, just spamming that in my chat, and I started getting really weird emails where he was like, you know, you're gonna die.
You see what they some of them even try to come in my broadcast to be typing something while I'm teaching. Huh? Then when I call them out, then he want to know why I got to go. See, nobody else called them out. You know why? Because most people that's on the air, even with the podcast and all that kind of stuff, they're just giving you their opinions. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm giving you facts. I don't do personal opinion unless I tell you this is just my personal opinion. So don't you go and run with this. Every now and then I'll say something like that. But most of the time when I give you something, I show you it's the word of God I'm giving you. Huh? Allah told me to go and speak with, meaning in agreement with, his words. Why? Because I'm the verifier. It's just like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I'll show you what I mean by verifier. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he just a moment. I don't want to confuse nobody. I want you to understand this. Just give me a minute. Let's go back. Now I want you to listen to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Over there. And he put up his sign for you and me to wish it up. If we worship the sign of a murder and follow the murder, what are we looking for? Death. We are looking for death. Oh, Reverend, that he deceived you like this. I'm not coming here to make fun of you. I'm coming here to make you. That's up to you to believe it or let alone, but here is his word. He says to you and me that I've taken your Jesus and I killed him, hung him up on a cross. Now, nigga, come on and worship him because I'm going to do you the same. And he's done it. I don't want to argue with you. I just want to tell you that you see.
Now it says that the devil, he said, you notice the messenger called what they did to Jesus, he called it murder, didn't he? Was he lying? Or was he telling the truth? The white man calls it murder. I'll tell you what, you take somebody out there and put them on the cross and let them die on there. And if you don't let them die on there and you put him on there, he said you attempted to murder him. I didn't hear you. That is attempted murder. Is that right? Now, what person in their right mind would accuse God of planning murder as salvation for people? Come on. The God who said, thou shalt not kill. Ain't that another way of saying thou shalt not murder? Okay. Well, then he turn around and say, murder, you say his only son, murder my son, and he'd be paying the price for all of your sins. Where's the justice in that? You did all the wrong. You did all the wrong, but God said, "I'm gonna punish you." Tell his son, "I'm gonna punish you for what all these wrongdoing people did." Huh? That's really rough, ain't it? I think I'd ask him, "Can I get another father?" I don't want to be your son no more. Huh? Why would God give you murder for a plan of salvation? But that's what white people told you. And you still walking around here believing it. Listen.
That you see. Any man or woman go and worship that cross, cause it this sign that leads them to their salvation, should be taken and put in the insane asylum.
And you know Christianity drove a whole lot of people insane? Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of people believe in Christianity that got mental problems. Some of everything, believing in them lies. You don't have no justification for believing in a lie after the truth comes. Naturally, Allah ain't gonna protect you no more. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. They had not had the understanding that they've been following the man of sin. But now they ain't got no cloak. I told you the white man is the devil right in front of the white man. You hear him coming in here accusing me? He ain't got no accusation to make at me. I'm not teaching nothing but the truth. If it ain't the truth, I'll give you $50,000 and pay with my life for lying. You ain't got to kill me. I'll kill me if I'm standing up here telling a lie on white people. Now, look what the devil said he was going to do. When Allah told him to submit, this is the 28th verse of the 15th chapter of the Holy Quran. And when thy Lord said to the angels, when thy Lord said to the messengers, I am going to create a mortal of sounding clay, of black mud, fashioned into shape. What is mud? Mud is dirt with water poured on it. Huh? What is black people in America? You've been saying they've been treating you like dirt. Didn't they treat you like dirt? And then they poured education on you and poured water on you, and you just mud. Why? Because everywhere you look, you don't see black people building. Look at them. A man came way over here from Japan, and right there in Canton, Mississippi, put up a beautiful Nissan plant, an automobile manufacturing plant. We've been in Canton all our life. Many of us ain't put up nothing. Just mud. You know, you go look at it walking in the mud, you see dirt mixed with water, but you don't see nothing else. I didn't hear you. But from that people, Allah said he's going to create a man. He's going to teach a man. He said of sounding clay, by means of talking clay. That's what the prophets were. They were talking clay, sounding clay. That's why the book says, and their sound went throughout the earth. Huh? And so, but nobody understood their sound. No one understood their words. So Allah said he's going to create one. And he said, and when I have made him complete and breathed into him of my spirit, fall down, humble yourselves, and make obeisance to him. And so every time I speak from the Holy Scriptures, it's like a fig tree casting an untimely fig when shaken by a mighty wind. Huh? Then it drops down, and you notice a fig is a piece of fruit that's just full of seeds, isn't it? Well, Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is like unto a sower which went forth to sow, and he was full of seeds. Huh? Hence the fig tree. The Holy Bible and the Holy Quran are a fig tree. Huh? The Moses was full of seeds, and Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. You notice all that was in Moses, all them seeds. Huh? Then you look at the chapters in other books, the chapters of Psalms. David was full of seeds. All of the messengers of God was full of seeds. Fig tree. Huh? Then it says, so when I have made him complete and breathed into him of my spirit, fall down, making obeisance to him. And it says, so the angels made obeisance, all of them together, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory. And how many angels with him? Well, if all of them come with me, then all of them making obeisance to me. I didn't hear you. Then it says, but Iblis did it not. He refused to be with those who made obeisance. The white man got a saying, ignorance is bliss. Those who were blissfully ignorant, glad to be ignorant, wearing ignorance like a badge. When you try to teach them something, here a man come in here and tell me because you wasn't in the nation less than a year, and what do you know? Huh? Ain't that something? But anyway, and so he said, oh Iblis, what is the reason that thou art not with those who make obeisance? He said, I'm not going to make obeisance to a mortal. I don't submit to no man. You done heard him say that all the time, haven't you? I'm not going to make obeisance to a mortal whom thou hast created of sounding clay, of black mud fashioned in the shape. I ain't going to submit to no black man, no nigger. Huh? I used to hear people say that all the time. Man. A nigga can't tell me nothing. Why? Because that's Iblis talking. You understand? Then it says, he said, then you get out of here. You go forth, for surely thou art driven away. You notice, resist the devil, and what? He flee from you. You see, they bully, like all these people walking around here with their guns, brandishing their guns with their tattoos and stuff. He put all that stuff on there to frighten you because he's scared. Do you understand? So he make himself look real tough. And so you're supposed to get scared. And then he come talking tough to you. He be barking and going on at you. Scared to death. And then you go talking about, ooh, he's frightening me, he's scared. And you say, yeah, and I'll do more than that to you. You remember you remember what the witch said to the cowardly lion? He said, I do believe it's spook. I do believe it's spook. I do believe it's spook. She said, you're going to believe it more than that before I'm finished with you. He's scared. A lion. Scared. What was they showing you? They were showing you creatures that were going actually out of their nature. The lion was the real one. The scarecrow ain't got no brain. But when you look at what they called us spooks, we were scared of everything. Man, dress up in a white sheet, put on a hood, and come out there at night and burn a cross and raise all kind of hell, and we there in the house just trembling. Whole gang of white men coming out there in sheets to frighten a poor Negro, so they can make an example out of him. He hadn't did nothing. It was just time to make an example to reinforce the terror that they had put in us. Do you understand? So he said, then you go forth, for surely thou art driven away. And surely on thee is a curse till the day of judgment. Remember Cain? The God told him that cursed, had a curse on him? Huh? Didn't call him Iblis there, did he? Called him Cain, named him, didn't he? And this is the 4th chapter of Genesis. It says, and Cain talked with Abel, his brother. This is the 8th verse. And it came to pass that when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him. He said unto Cain, where is Abel, your brother? Now, am I my brother's keeper? And he said, the Lord said unto him, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth. Now you know who the curse was. Name was Cain. Huh? Remember, in Genesis, in the Holy Quran, it simply says, and on thee is a curse. It says, and surely on thee is a curse till the day of judgment. He said, then go forth, for surely thou art driven away. Look what Cain said. And the Lord said unto Cain, this is the 9th verse, where is Abel thy brother? And he said, I know not. Lying, huh? Am I my brother's keeper? I ain't in his skin. I don't know where he at. That told the Lord all he needed to know right there. He had never said nothing like that before when he was there. Huh? He just said, oh, he was over there in the field tending to his sheep, or he was here, or he was there. Now all of a sudden, am I his keeper? And so the Lord said unto him, he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cried unto me from the ground. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from your hands. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. A man that go around subduing and overpowering people and killing people just so he can take over their land, he's a fugitive. Just like he came here and took this. He running here talking about this is his country and all that. This ain't his country. It was people here already. He came and took it. He hear me? He took it and murdered the owners and kept a few around to show what he done. And it says, a fugitive and a vagabond shalt thou be in the earth. A vagabond is like a rolling stone. Papa was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his head, that was his home. Huh? A vagabond. They used to have a show come on called The Vagabond. And he'd be showing you different parts of the earth. Because no part of it is really his. We let him have dominion. It don't belong to him. Then it says, and Cain said unto the Lord, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day. What did the Holy Quran say? Then go forth, for surely thou art what? Driven away. See, it's the same story, but only this time in Genesis, it names the man. Cain. Okay, now let's go back to the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran says in the 35th verse, and surely on thee is a curse till the day of judgment. What is the curse that was on him? That natural mind, that mind to go out and make mischief and shed blood, to subdue the earth. That has been on him for 6,000 years. Now you in the day of judgment. So Allah, as Jesus said, he said, all that thou hast given me, let's go to the book of John, so that you will understand that I'm not here to punish white people for being devils. I'm here to set them free from the cursed mind that we put on them. If he too stupid to let me do that, well, then he gonna be punished, not for being the devil, because that's what we made him, but for disobedience to his maker and not letting me remake him. So it says in the 17th chapter of John, and this is the 12th verse. Jesus says, while I was with them in the world, I kept them in thy name, in thy word. Those that thou gavest me, I have kept, and none of them is lost, but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. What scripture? That the Son of Man came to seek and to save that which was lost. The only one that was lost was the devil. And in order to save the world, like in order to save humanity, the scientific community had to save that coronavirus in a form that it was no longer, that it would no longer do harm, but it would protect. Would just like the measles and the mumps chicken pox and stuff. You notice the chicken pox virus, it stayed in us, but in a harmless state that would help protect the body instead of infecting the body and doing harm. Do you understand? It's just like I told you before. You ain't never dreamed that you could be as efficient a warrior, a killer, as white people. There's no way you could match them in that. Just like your red cells. Your red cells ain't got a chance. Couldn't near about do what the white cells in your blood do. Them is fighters, man. But they don't, in their proper state, they don't attack the red cells. They don't fight the red cells. They protect the red cells. They protect the whole body. And if you talk about getting rid of your white cells, you're talking about wiping out humanity. Because you need them white cells. In this great big universe, you don't want to be caught out there in the universe without knowing how to defend yourself. You don't know what you might run into out there. You talk about going out there, you better make sure you got somebody who know how to fight with you. Do you understand? And white people know how to fight, man. And if they have to get that rump, they can get that rump. But we got to stop him from using his talents on us. Like, did you see Babylon 5 when the Mimbari, the warrior class, was talking about taking over and against the religious caste and the worker class and Delenn told them, he said, naturally you told the warriors, and naturally you are strong and can outfight us. We the one made you strong. We the one gave you all of these ships. You didn't build them ships you got. We built them. So now you want to come to us and call yourself going to attack us? So, well, I tell you what, since you want to go back to the old ways, I tell you what, let you of the warrior caste, and to prove you're worthy to rule, let's invoke death. Huh? Let's get into the circle of fire and let the star fire take us away. And then when the warrior that was so hell bent on attacking them, when he was asked to invoke death on himself, if he loved his caste that much, die for them. I would die for my people. Not gladly, but I would do it. I'll even die trying to save you. Because Allah told me, go and try to save their life. So it's written here. He said, none of them is lost but the son of perdition, that the scripture might be fulfilled. What scripture it was talking about was that the Son of Man came to seek and to save that which was lost. And Jesus told you who the lost one was. It's the devil. And the Holy Quran backs it up. It says, on you is a curse, talking to the devil, until the coming of the Son of Man. It says the day of judgment. The Son of Man is the judge. And the day of judgment is a day that the presence of the Son of Man, as you hear people talking about, this is the day that the Lord have made. The day of judgment is the day that I have made. Because without me, just like a judge, court can't start until the judge comes in. I didn't hear you. It ain't the day of judgment until the Son of Man shows up. Now you in the day of judgment. And so now I'm here giving you the truth and telling you that if it's not the truth and you can prove that it's not the truth, I will not only pay you $50,000, I will also pay for my mistake with my life. Kind of like Neo told that fool machine in the Matrix. Remember at the end of it? Yes. He told him, he said, well, Smith about to destroy the whole thing here. And if that's not the case, if you don't need me, then you should destroy me now because I have made a mistake. Huh? If I'm not, if I got something wrong here, then you should kill me because I'm misleading people. Even if I did it ignorantly. How many people have my ignorance caused to die? Then I should be willing to pay for it with my life. Are you willing to do the same? If you have been misleading people? So I want you to listen. Listen to the message.
That's no sign of life. That's a sign of death. See how far you are. You are off from the knowledge of what you were given. A man gives you that thought and then tells you that you fall. Y'all bust his face open. The enemy.
Yeah, it makes you feel like busting him in the mouth.
Molded you into death. My church, my denomination, your church of they do not have no respect over in that church for the members there, nor anyone that will visit. Fight, right? They hang you on the tree. They said they hang the Jesus on the tree. You have it now, clear, because they do hang you. Be like Jesus. Tell himself, what? For what? For you to hang me and nail me to the cross like you did him? And worship the murder. When you tell him about us, are you one of them? That's what he will say. Oh, you done left the church? Tell him I've never been in it.
And I bear him witness. I saw so much. I ain't never been no hypocrite. I can't pretend to be with something that I ain't with. I just say I can't do it. Nope. If I'm with you, I'm with you. If I ain't, ain't nothing you gonna do don't tell me you gonna beat me into it. No, I am a stubborn fella when it comes to my will to be part of this or not to be part of something. That's what the messenger, he told the truth. The minister told us one day, he said, the messenger said that the black man's mind is like a vice. Said, if you start him off in the wrong direction, it's hard to turn him around. And if you start him off in the right direction, it's equally hard to turn him around. Then he said, but some of us, we kind of wishy-washy. See, he made a distinction between the black man and the rest of people that look like us. And said, I'm that black man that he was talking about. You see, when everybody else was gone behind W.D. Muhammad, I didn't go. And I told brothers, I didn't hide out and say, I can't follow that man, I ain't gonna follow him. I told the brothers that, that was used to me being with them. I said, I can't follow him. And I told them that. Huh? He said, well, Brother Mom, you gonna be a hypocrite? I said, no, I ain't no hypocrite. I don't know nothing about that man. I ain't said nothing about I wrote no letter talking about I believed in no W.D. Muhammad. No. Say, I'm true to what I said I believed in. So nobody called me no hypocrite either. A hypocrite is somebody who lie. If I had followed him, I would have been a hypocrite. Because I wrote a letter saying that I believed in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And I still believe in him. It's like this foolish man coming in here trying to tell me that the messenger didn't teach there ain't no big eyes. And that boy don't know what he's talking about. I ain't paying them people no attention.
Oh, slave house with a cross, a sign of imprisonment, suffering, and finally death. The church now is getting hungry. The Muslim is getting fat.
And to further prove that, and that's what he said he was going to do. This is, and Allah said in the 35th verse, and surely on thee is a curse till the day of judgment. And Iblis said, my Lord, listen to the words. The white man know Allah is God. He said, my Lord, respite me till the time when they are raised. Raised from what? Raised from death? Raised from misunderstanding? Because everybody been listening to him. He been the ruler for the past 6,000 years. And he said, my Lord, respite me till the day when they are raised. And Allah said, surely thou art of the respited ones. Respite means delay my punishment. Don't do it to me yet. Grant me a stay. And he says, surely thou art of the respited ones, till the period of time made known, till the day of judgment. Remember, it said, if I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, and they could have been blamable. But now they have no cloak for their sins. No more respite. That's why you see so many people losing their minds, doing crazy things. You're being punished. Because I have spoken to you, and I'm steady speaking to you, and you ignoring me. But Allah said, speak to them whether they hear you or don't. See, I'm going to keep on these meetings. If they take me off the internet, I will keep on having my meetings with the people who come to my meetings. Because Allah told me to speak whether they hear you or not. That way, when they come up later to my, well, we didn't hear him. Well, it's because you chose not to. He was on the internet. You chose not to hear him. You even allowed them when they took him off. You didn't say nothing. You didn't complain. Huh? No, you go on. It ain't gonna change. They have court. I've heard judges ask defendants, do you want to be in here for this trial or not? Because we're gonna have the trial whether you in here or not. Do you understand? See, he ain't got no way out. He already done laid the groundwork for everything I'm saying. So all he can do is sit there and say, boy, that sure is how we did it. Yeah. So it says, he said, Iblis talking again, he said, my Lord, as thou hast judged me erring, since you have made me erring spiritually, I shall certainly make evil fair seeming to them on earth, and I shall cause them all to deviate, except thy servants from among them, the purified ones. What is it when a man murders a man and then convince you that that's God's plan for your salvation and you went along with it? He made evil fair seeming to you, didn't he? I didn't hate you. That's what Christianity does. It makes evil fair seeming to you. You didn't even, look at you. You so unjust yourself that you be glad if somebody that's innocent pay the price for your wrongdoing. There's people sitting up in jail right now for things they didn't do, and people know that they're the one that did it, but they let somebody else pay the price for it. I didn't hate. So y'all likes that kind of stuff. That's your MO. Wicked people always, like God said, the wicked shall be a ransom for the righteous. The devil said the righteous shall be a ransom for the wicked. Jesus had to die for the wicked people. Yeah. He made evil fair seeming to you. Now, I'm here confronting you and him. And both of you got a zipper on your mouth. I think I better get to Q now. You see, now, let me show you Q here. Go to 2 Timothy. I'm going to let you hear a little bit more of their lies. And then we will...
Soon these are gonna be the last 7 months of your sanity. You better watch out. Next month you're gonna be having car trouble. But it was all part of like his ongoing campaign to try to get me to commit suicide. I mean, unfortunately, I was pretty close to it, and I got pulled out of it by a friend. Right after that is when Cappy came out.
Isaac Cappy is an actor who became a popular anon in 2018 when he started spouting false claims about things he had allegedly witnessed in Hollywood.
Here we are, guys. We're here with Mr. Isaac Cappy, who's eating some pizza. We're streaming live right now. Steven Spielberg is a pedophile. Tom Hanks, guys, pedophile. Called out, no response. I don't care. I've already been blacklisted. They can't double.
Now he out there spreading all of that garbage, and ain't nobody asked him, how do you know these things? Huh? Where's your evidence of these things? They don't give a damn about no evidence. because most people, they love, as Allah said in the Holy Quran, says, "Oh, you who believe, avoid suspicion, for most suspicion is sin." Huh? Why would you make a statement about someone that you have no proof of? And then after doing that, all of these Q people are Trump supporters, right? They call him their savior. Now, the religion that's supporting him, the people who claim to be his supporters, is Christian. At least they claim to be. Now, what's the sign of the cross? Is it not death? Well, what would you expect their champion to be? Who is their champion? Satan? I didn't hear you. So, I mean, here this man was on there talking about grab him by the he grabbed him by the genitals, and they let you because when you're a star you can do that. And these is people that's got nerve enough to be calling other people pet. All they was doing by calling Tom Hanks and some of these other people, Spielberg and all of them, pedophiles, they was projecting the things that they are guilty of. That's what they was putting on other people. Now this man went and committed suicide. Huh? Just wait a minute.
Blacklist me. They can try to kill me. You know, he hadn't talked to me in a while, and I was just like, dude, like, you're getting worse and worse into this QAnon stuff, bro. You gotta stop. This shit is fake. Like, I created it, and I told him about Thomas and how Thomas was manipulating him, and I was like, dude, you gotta stop, man.
Just like, see, now this fella here, he claiming that he's one of the ones who started Q, and now he got out of control. Their parable is that of one who kindles a fire. But when it illumines all around him, then Allah takes away their light. Do you understand? Now you can't stop it. Just like Donald Trump. He started this stuff about fake news. He started this stuff about, at least he helped start it. This lie about it's a hoax. The virus is a hoax. Now he started the people down that path. Then later you saw him try to tell him, well, look, get the shot, man, get the shot. And they booed him. He said, well, you're free, you're free. What? He started a fire that he can't put out. Damn idiot. Don't you know fire is not loyal to anyone? Fire ain't got no loyalties. And you play with fire long enough, I guarantee you're going to get burnt. I tell you what, he better not turn around and tell them people that what he said ain't right and all of that kind of stuff. They'll be ready to kill him. I didn't hear you. So anyway, just listen.
You're ruining your career. You're ruining your life. He was so wrapped up in the Q conspiracy at that point. He was just like, nah, man, you're wrong, dude. Q's real, man. Q's real, dude. He was getting crazier and crazier and crazier, and he just wasn't listening to anybody.
I noticed in your last stream that you said you had somebody helping either your media or getting you out there.
The cicada guys.
Okay, so you're working with Thomas.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm familiar with Thomas and what he does. So all I'd say to you in terms of everything, QAnon and everything else, I just tell you to be very, very cautious about who you trust. Even Thomas.
And he mentions Thomas and cicada, and I was just kind of like,
The struggle against darkness consumed me. It consumed me. Yeah, I'm a bad guy. I'm a bad guy. Yeah, Son Pad's a bad guy.
On May 13th, 2019, the QAnon community was shocked and saddened to learn that Q celebrity Isaac Cappy had posted a suicide note on his Instagram before jumping to his death off an Arizona bridge.
The wages of sin. Oh, you're gonna see a whole bunch of death before it's over with. It's like these people that run around here telling my day waiting on some civil war. You want some bloodshed? You gonna get it. Don't you worry. But it ain't gonna be like you think. You mark my words. I told you, crazy and guns don't go together. Now you just keep on. He that taketh the sword shall perish with it. He that taketh the gun shall perish with it. Now this is the 2 Timothy here. Now you see he just got worse and worse, didn't he? You could look at him and tell that something ain't right here. Huh? But he couldn't see himself. Now you go over here to 2 Timothy. Let me see here. I like to show you these things. And let's go to the 3rd chapter. Now let's look. This is Q being described here. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, and unholy. I mean, look at all that. For instance, since President Biden took office, look at all of the good that his administration done did. And they were just talking about it on the news that a lot of people that he done did it for ain't even giving him credit for doing it. Unthankful and unholy. And it says, without natural affection. Donald Trump told a man it's okay to call his daughter a piece of ass. Is that normal for a father to feel that way? Tell somebody that you can use that kind of slang on my daughter. I don't care. Huh?
No, sir.
Okay. Without natural affection, true. First thing he did, one of the first things he did when he got in office was went around breaking agreements with other countries that the United States presidents had made with those countries. Huh? Truce breakers, false accusers. There was a man was trying to bribe the matter of fact, trying to extort the what that country over there, Ukraine, trying to extort the Ukrainian president to help him just we opening an investigation on Joe Biden. Huh? Just say you're opening an investigation. You ain't got to open that. False accusers. Incontinent. I mean, just you can't believe nothing they say. They ain't true to nothing. Incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. Let me show you something here. I like to let you see these things. Now, watch this. Two stars that know Donald Trump, and both of them had the same thing to say about him when they was at. Let me show you here. Now listen. Just a moment. Let me put it back on it.
on the Howard Stern show, but Stern gave a blunt message.
I'm talking to you in the audience, the Trump voter who, idolizes the guy, despises you.
Poor white folks and dumb Negroes. And Donald Trump don't give a damn about neither one of them. Huh? Just now, they love him, right? But listen to Howard. Watch Howard tell the truth on him. And like he said, I don't hate Donald. I ain't mad at Donald. I hate you. Stupid. Huh? I mean, I used to kind of half feel sorry for a woman when I saw a man beating on her. And then when you go try to help her, she get mad at you. I said, what the hell with you then? Come on, man. I don't care if he beat you to death. Go on. He loved me. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. I mean, man, there's some crazy people in this world. Just listen.
I'm talking to you in the audience, the Trump voter who, idolizes the guy. He despises you. I don't hate Donald. Donald's doing his thing. I hate you for voting for him, for not having an intelligence, not able to see what's going on with the coronavirus, not able to see what the Justice Department is doing. I hate you. I don't want you here.
Huh? Howard just told it like it was. Now listen to George Clooney.
Donald Trump held a rally in Iowa over the weekend, and comments from
Mark McKinnon, and that would be George Clooney. And this is arguable, right? I mean, that's, it's close. Clooney talked to the BBC, and this is what he had to say about President Biden's current struggles and also Donald Trump.
It's like taking a battered child and thinking everything's gonna be okay, and his first day in school. There's a lot of things that have to be repaired. He's gonna be a factor for a while. It's so funny because he was just this knucklehead. I knew him before he was a president. He was just a guy who was chasing girls. Every time he went out, he'd come over and be like, "What's the name of that girl?" That's all he was. And the idea that there's this whole group of people that that they think he's the champion of, which he certainly can't stand in real life. But he's gonna play this out for a while.
So, what George Clooney said, Donald Trump can't stand them people. Huh? And he can't. How you know that? When last time you saw him actually hanging out with some of these poor white folks or Negroes? Huh? What have you ever saw him or heard of him doing for any of them people? You certainly can't afford to stay in no hotel of his. I didn't hear you. I didn't hear you. So, I mean, he got sued. His family got sued for being a discrimination or slumlord or some old mess like that. But the point is, that's the way these people are. They have a fascination and they would rather see the whole house burned down than to get up off their lazy behinds and do something. So they figure Donald Trump gonna burn it down, they'll help him. And they claim to love him. But they really don't love him. They love the idea that he gives them license to be inordinate. Do you understand? Because if he crossed them, they'll be after him next. Huh? He couldn't tell them what to do. He told them to get that shot, and they booed him and told him we ain't getting that shot. Lindsey Graham there trying to tell his people to get it. And they, huh? Them people ain't thinking about you. At least I got sense enough to know that when somebody who claimed to be following me tell me no, they ain't gonna do what I say, I know that person ain't following me. Do you understand? You see, so now you may be fooled by them, but not me. So you listen to people, they come to you with any old lie, just tell you anything, you take it and run with it. There's the Holy Quran, the Holy Bible says, I'm gonna go on and cut to the chase on this 2 Timothy. This is about Q. It says, but evil men and seducers. Yeah, you heard that man acknowledge he was evil. Huh? But evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse. What is Q doing? Getting worse and worse. Then it says, deceiving and being deceived. What are they doing? I didn't hear you.
Deceiving others and being deceived themselves.
But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned, and hast been assured of, knowing of whom thou hast learned them. To those deceivers, a man tell you that people is trying to inject you with nanites or what, and you don't ask him, well, where's your proof of that, man? Who you know others them got that too? If you start asking that kind of question, he will try to accuse you. Oh, you one of them then, huh? No. You the one that's one of them. One of them what? One of them liars. One of those deceivers that's out here. One of those crazy, evil men that the scripture warns me about. Huh? But anyway, you see, ain't none of them saying nothing to me. I'm on here talking about them. Bunch of liars. The quickest way to find a liar out is say, hey, wait a minute. Where's your proof of what you're just saying there? Just ask him. I guarantee he's going to try to flip the script and try to make it look like you did something wrong by questioning him. Huh? What teacher of truth did you ever see run away from questions? The whole time you was in school, how many times did a teacher try to make you feel bad about asking them a question about what they was teaching? Did any of your teachers try to make you feel bad for asking a question about what they were teaching?
No, sir.
I don't remember none. Then when somebody come to you with something out of the blue now and tell you something that's so way out that just, it's beyond belief. You mean to tell me you don't think that it's important that you ask them questions about why are they saying this and where's the proof of what they are saying? So the scripture says, but evil men and seducers. Seducers are people that try to suck you in, con men or women. To seduce you is to suck you in, to con you. Evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, shall grow worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. They deceive others. And in so doing, they wind up deceiving themselves into thinking that what they are doing is working. Do you understand? So the more they deceive others, the more they deceive themselves until they start actually falling victim to their own lies. You hear me? All right. Okay. Then since ain't nobody arguing and ain't nobody trying to contradict me, I'm going to put a pin in it there. And may Allah bless us and keep us safe and in our right minds. And part of keeping you in your right mind is keeping your body's oxygen level at the proper amounts. So be thankful that Allah gave us a way to protect ourselves. So may Allah bless us and keep us safe and in our right minds. And those of us who hunger and thirst for his righteousness. And may he grant us a peaceful and pleasant night's rest and sleep, and a happy, peaceful, and pleasant morning's rise. May Allah's Salam Alaikum.